Someone says, what's the future? Vaughn Coleman.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't used that intro for a while, and I decided now's a good time. I don't know. I never used it for Vaughn Coleman Presents, except for when I had Billy Tucci on because he was in the intro, so it felt natural. But I hope you guys are doing well. It is Monday night. We're starting. Well, did we start off the week? Yes. Do you guys like? Because I still, even though it's technically not, I always feel like Monday is the start of the week. I know it should be that way. Anyway, a little tangent. I hope you guys had a good St. Patrick's Day. I celebrated because it was on a Sunday, so I celebrated like Saturday, and then Sunday I just kind of like I was like I guess I'll do work and stuff. So I did that, but before I bring in my esteemed colleague, I do want to show myself for a moment. We are at the last time I checked, 531 signups for Phenomenova. And so what is Phenomenova about, in case you don't know? Well, Phenomenova is set 20 years after World War III and follows this teenage boy who was the son of a war hero who was struck by lightning while holding a mysterious crystal. And inspired by the brave heroes that came before him, he decides he's going to put on a makeshift costume and become Galvanite. We got the trailer, which I will play at the end of this stream. But if you're interested in seeing it yourself, link is in the chat. Make sure to sign up to get this exclusive free trading card drawn by, of course, Jules, aka Juju. And also, I haven't advertised this enough, but there is an art contest. So if any of you artists want to participate in the Phenomenova fan art contest, go and do that, and the winner will get featured in the book. We got one variant cover so far with 2 more on the way. And it looks like I'm probably going to be pushing back my launch a bit because Rini is swamped. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this whole segment. Now let's bring in the man of the hour. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend. I don't have an intro for him, but he's still a legend. Narwhal, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. You know, I'm doing well. It was one of those days where like I still worked all day, but it was like everything I had on my to-do list got chucked out the window. And I was like, all right, well, but it's still going well. And looks like we got Earthbound. I finally am going to read Earthbound, which is exciting because that is something that like people talked about. I love your. Are you still selling the T-shirts where the logo placement is all the way up here?
Yeah, just that. Those ones I screen printed myself, and that one in particular was way off. Like it's funny the things you learn because you have all these blind spots. Like anyone who's ever done shirts would know immediately, but I didn't know, because I'd never done one. So I'm like, where does I don't like Google to look like where is it on a shirt? It's like medieval paintings of cats, like. They just look terrible.
Dude, no so many people have mentioned. Is it just you, or have multiple people mentioned this on stream?
I don't know. I might have mentioned it twice in the past month, and maybe you've seen it.
Yeah, because I literally was thinking about that earlier today. What is I know, isn't it like a thing that people couldn't get elephants right because if you describe them, it's like.
Oh yeah, that's funny. I bet you it's got to be something like that. I saw a funny meme too. It made me laugh, and it was Beetle Moses, who's a hilarious cartoonist, and it's a guy. It's H.P. Lovecraft being like, "No, the whole point is it's indescribable. You can't describe it. It's so horrible. Just looking at it will make you mad." And there's this artist sketching it right next to him, and he goes like that, and he shows like the tentacled monster. That
Cthulhu.
Yeah, yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, people always do. It's like one of the things, I mean, I love. It's like, oh, there's no limits to the imagination. All right, imagine a new color.
Yeah.
You can't. There's the great movie. I don't know if you've seen Color Out of Space, but it's based on a Lovecraft story. But apparently, the color is supposed to be one you've never seen before, and obviously that's not. It's just like purple, like in the movie, I think.
Oh yeah.
But it was a good movie, dude. Nick Cage. I mean, Nick Cage was doing a lot of good stuff after doing a lot of bad stuff. Like Mandy. Did you ever see Mandy?
Yeah, Mandy's
That
sweet.
movie was weird. Although the first hour was like okay.
I think it might be the same director, maybe Color Out of Space and Mandy. I can't remember.
They were Shudder exclusives, right?
Yeah, and you know what else? Nick Cage is in a new horror movie called Long Legs that also looks good.
Long Legs.
Yeah.
All right, let me look this up.
He says he goes through phases. I've been watching some early Nick Cage and very much enjoying. Yeah.
Let's see this. The Color had too much current day garbage in it. I don't remember that. Narwhal is the future. By the way, let's say hi to everyone in chat. Alex VRB is also, of
Michael
course,
D.
here as
Show's up.
always. Yeah, they
Alex,
just
what's up?
medieval cats are genetically superior to pitiful creatures we know today. Probably. Doug 209, how you doing? Dan Genovese. Dale A. If Vaughn doesn't get in a river by the end of the stream, why would I get in a river? Am I missing?
Did you see that I posted? Like I'm having the 2024 Narwhal River Bathing Challenge, and it's the first 3. Yeah, it's the first 3 people to make a video of themselves bathing in a river. I send them a hardcover of Earthbound with ink sketch. So there's 3 of those going out. If anyone even does it. I was kind of laughing when I uploaded it though, and then it got a pretty funny response. A lot of people are retweeting and stuff.
Is anyone? Hang on, before I answer, because that's now Dale A. All right, so Dale A. said that Michael Rushbrook. Hopefully, I can catch in time dinner with fan tonight. If you don't, you can always catch it later. Look at that, man! A lot of people have tuned in for this stream. This is great. Oh, the stream is gay. Okay, well, that was nice. All lasted. Woo, Caleb Reynolds. How you doing, Caleb? So anyway, Long Legs. Let's see. Are we allowed to watch trailers on you? It's first of all, trailers should always be allowed to be watched on YouTube because it's advertising a product. Everyone has permission to watch my trailer. All right?
Yeah, I agree.
It's ridiculous. Don't you want if people are advertising your shit, let them.
Yeah, and then they'll copyright strike or whatever the hell they do.
Yeah, if you're
it was a trailer, it was literally a commercial we were watching, trying to spread.
If you're going through my comic page by page, that's different because you're showing the whole goddamn book that I worked on and giving people it for free. That's different. But if you're like just showing off my trailer, which is literally marketing, yeah, man. I mean, go ahead. That's my stance. But all right, I'm interested in this video. Now, here's the thing. I do live by a river. The weather outside isn't too bad.
You should do it. You could be one of the 3.
The problem is the river. You have to jump off a bridge to get into it.
Yeah, don't do anything too dangerous.
Or I could get into my neighbor's property that are close to the river and just.
Yeah, ask him like, hey, I got to do a challenge. You know, like TikTok has challenges. There's a river bathing challenge. I need to go bathe in your river.
Welcome to the Earthbound River Bathing Challenge. 3 lucky river bathers. The first 3 to send me a video of themselves bathing in a river like this. Oh my God.
Oh, I can't do that.
It's so cold.
I'll send you a hardcover first edition with an ink sketch included. $200 value or so.
It's kind of anticlimactic though, because look how shallow it is.
Yeah. Mine is the opposite.
Fully submerged, but you get the idea. I'm not always sure if the camera will glitch out, but I just bathed in the river for the first time of the season.
Of the season? How often do you do this?
Well, if it's summer, I'll do it kind of a lot.
3 fellow river bathers will get mailed a hardcover first edition with an ink sketch included of Earthbound. So film yourself bathing in the river and hit me up and I'll send you your book. 3 people. All right, thanks. Bye. I can think of some people who might do it.
Was I one of the people you thought of?
No, not until later. Then I thought of you.
Later, as in what, a minute ago?
Well, like no. You're like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe the 5th person.
Who do you think would do it? Who do you think would do it?
I don't know. I kind of don't want to say. I don't want to put anyone on the spot and feel like
Phil Diaz.
No, but just
various... he's a coward. calling you out, Phil. You're too much of a. Well, the thing is, then I have to do it. Fuck.
Yeah. No,
I do kinda
Phil,
want
is there even a river where he's at? He loves his showers.
I don't
so
know.
He would never forsake a shower. Because if he
Hmm.
bathed in the river, he'd have to forsake a shower.
Does he like his showers? And
We have the hardcover though. The people I'm thinking of. But yeah.
okay. So I'm seriously considering this.
Yeah, just find a way to do it safe, and you got to record it. That's actually, we haven't talked about this, but
Obviously, I'm not just
you're-
doing it and then not telling. And then
yeah,
telling you.
make sure your camera's running. I'm saying, but that's what I was gonna say. You're a filmmaker.
Yeah.
I saw your short film, by the way. It was really cool. It was good.
Thank you.
It was long, and I didn't know you wrote it. That it was like a cool script, cool idea.
Thank you. Well,
I know how hard it is to make movies. So.
Yeah, dude, it's a pain. Making comics is tough too, but like you literally can't. If you have artistic talent, you know, you can do it. Like today, I'm realizing like my limits as not the fact that I have these how to draw books, never used them. Where are they? Right here. I have 2 copies of this.
Oh yeah, nice.
And I never used either of them. And now I'm regretting it because now I'm like, all right, I got artists. I have to have an artist to do this. Oh, I need a logo for the. Oh, you think you could just write this scene and have it? Now, to be fair, with film, it's 10 times worse because it's like, oh, you had this scene. Like this was a short film that was in a house, right?
Yeah.
I still had to shave off 5 pages of the script. We couldn't pay the crew, obviously. It still cost over $4,000 to produce.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't pay for the equipment really, but some of it we had. Did we?
Was that a student film or was that like a post-student film or what would you call that?
All right, so so what happened was I was in a filmmaking class. Now COVID had happened, and it fucked up the whole filmmaking process. Actually, fucked up everything at college. Every social life gone outside of my suite. Because like everyone was very much like we can't hang out, and all the bars had opened up. I turned 21, and then they all shut down immediately because of COVID. And I was in Boston, the most Irish city in America, filled with pubs that I couldn't go to. That I got to walk by every day, mocking me, saying, "Haha, you can't go in here, asshole!" Really annoying. Anyway, off tangent. So with this, it was a class that was entirely just. There was going to be one film we do by the end of it, and we all pitched in, and it had to be based on, or at least it had to be the way the rules were weird. It was like you had to have something that existed. So there was this Reddit story, but then I remember reaching out to the guy, and he was like, "I don't want it adapted," so I completely changed. The only thing that's really consistent is that people are in a house, there's a whistling, but I changed the time, I changed the characters. It was about like kids that were like afraid to look. The whole themes of the original were totally different than what I did. I made it completely different because I was like, I want to respect their thing. And it actually gave me creative freedom. I really enjoyed that. And I'm annoyed that it took so long. But it proved like that I could crowdfund this because there were I didn't know how to even run a crowdfund. I still did it. People still gave me money with like, basically I'll put your name in the credits.
Yeah.
And people still, that was good enough for people, I guess. And then my editor took literally years, and I was like, so that's not happening with Phenomenova. It is going to release in a timely manner. It's mostly done, so that's good. But it was a pain in the ass, though. I wrote it, rewrote it. I casted people. I directed it. Then I had my roommate as cinematographer. And the thing is, honestly, the fact that it turned out as well as it did was really great. You can find it on YouTube, guys. By the way, right now it's called Behind the Curtain. I'm probably gonna have to re-upload it, just add something to the credits that wasn't there. I'm having my editor do that, so I'm gonna make sure he gets back to me soon. But you can still find it. It was a lot of work, but we paid it out. We rented an Airbnb and we stayed in the Airbnb, and then we'd come down and it was also the set, so it was really cool. And yeah, I mean, I learned how to, on that set, I learned how to crowdfund. This was years before I started doing any comic stuff. I learned how to like the way casting was annoying too, because my actors now we had to go over Skype, so I didn't even get to see the chemistry that my two main actors who are a couple had.
Yeah.
We were on set.
Yeah, it'd be hard during COVID.
Yeah, it was tough, man.
But you know, one thing I like about movies that's kind of fun, and you have this experience now. One thing is that you've done it once, so I feel like doing it again is like less intimidating, and you're starting when you're young, which is good. So you could do like another movie whenever you get that going or whatever. But I kind of like the way writing movies limits you sometimes because, like you were saying, you had to shave pages off the script or whatever. But like, yeah, like if you don't have the location, you have to figure something else out. So it's all this problem solving, and like if you can write. It eventually kind of clicks and you can kind of write like two people in a room and have it work, you know, and that I think that helps comic writing a lot too, just to be able to write low budget. Then you could write high budget where you can do anything, because if people go straight to the high budget stuff, they kind of are spoiled, you know, and they'll write whatever they want and there won't be any kind of cool structure or whatever.
Absolutely. And it wasn't my short film. It's by far, I think, my best work. But it's not my short film. I have some others, but let's see that on my YouTube channel, including ones I've starred in.
Yeah, because you're an okay actor too. Good actor.
Yeah. Okay, actor. I'll take it. Yeah, I've acted in a few. Actually, a lot, but a lot of them haven't been like released on YouTube. And there's a fair amount have. I'll have to go through them on stream. It's some of my masterpieces at one point. I've gone through a few on my own stream, but maybe a wider audience needs to recognize some of my genius. Some of my favorite ones I can't show on YouTube because USC had this annoying thing where they own like everything. Oh, which is really annoying, dude. It was so annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, as we've been talking, I got one backer. So I don't know if that was from the chat, but thanks everyone.
If it was.
And real quick, too, regarding the campaign, there's one piece of original art that's left. There's been 6 and 5 have sold. So there's one left. It's one of the better ones, too. So I expect it'll sell sooner or later, but I just want to let everyone know. You never know when that one gets snatched up.
All right, let's go. Let's go check out this campaign. You know what's funny is I'm realizing as I'm doing this, I don't think I read the campaign pages enough. And I think I'm part of the problem because I was always like, yeah, man, it's all, and don't get me wrong, I like it. Obviously, the personalities help bring people to the books, but I'm like realizing I rarely ever just browse a campaign, but it's mostly because I'm always spending time on live streams. So it's like if I, for example, Fiendish, I've backed all 3 books. I've probably never read through any of these campaign pages.
Yeah. You're not alone. I think a lot of people are like that. I don't know anyone. It's like pretty rare. I actually did get some feedback here and there where people were saying I was browsing and I read it and it convinced me. But that's like literally like I think actually one person told me that.
Yeah,
I've been doing this 10 years or whatever. So.
10 years? Has it been that
long?
Wait,
7 years. I've been doing this 7 years.
Wow. Yeah, man. I've been reading these. I didn't start. The reason I noticed that is I didn't start until I was writing, like making my own mock-up. I was like, wait a minute, what do they actually look like? Like I was like, all right, what does Billy Tucci do? What does Rini do? What is Narwhal doing? And I started going through and I was like, oh, okay. And I realized it was pretty similar to my sign-up page, except now it's actually available. So not too bad.
Nice. How many did you say you have for signups now?
Let me double. I think last time I checked it was 531. So if you guys make so Alex put in the link. And Vaughn tells him it's all a waste. I'm not saying that. I'm saying listen. Well, he said he does it too. So
have you seen the video yet?
No, I'm excited.
It's funny. It's embarrassing. You can hit play though.
You want an apprentice and you chose Mags? Why don't you choose Narwhal? Narwhal is an actual genius.
Oh, I do remember that video. What video was that?
I mean, like create a genius.
Like last May or something. He was saying
he's not going to solve.
And I clipped it, of course.
Why didn't you take Narwhal under your wing? You did it because you were trying to be political. You were trying to be cute. You thought you were smarter than the situation. You're smarter than these idiots, but I mean, come on. The idea that your first book you're ever going to put out is going to be award worthy is kind of ridiculous. Usually people win awards for actual merit, not identity, after 5, 10, 20 decades of work. But of the work that's been produced, I would really only say it was like Narwhal stuff. Like Narwhal definitely seems like the type of person who should be nominated in a short story or anthology category. I mean, a lot of his stuff is just flat out brilliant, like savant level work. So Narwhal is someone that I think actually does deserve award nominations. But as far as I know, Narwhal has only worked in crowdfunding, which is apart from mainstream, both for awards, for press coverage, for basically everything. Now, should crowdfunding come up with its own awards? No.
Oh,
Just put out books, deliver the books, make good books, improve in your artistry, in your skill, in your delivery, and in your customer service. Don't worry about mainstream awards.
If my opinion matters, we need to make sure Narwhal's taken good care of. He's got a lot of good books. He's going to continue to make good books. And in my opinion, he's a fucking genius.
Yeah, it's just me. It's just me editing together a bunch of clips of people calling me a genius. That's what this video
nice.
is.
That's good, man. Well, listen, I kind of jerked myself off in my video too.
Yeah, I
because
know. See, so you know, it's what we got to do. It's, if
I
people say
literally-
nice things.
I had a blank spot in my trailer, like pacing wise, because I was like, I didn't want to show off too much art, or it was like this, and I was like, oh yeah, Rini tweeted something nice about me once, and I just put it in
Yeah.
the video. Billy Tucci, I was like, I'm gonna start the video off with probably my most well-received piece of art, followed by this Billy Tucci quote. Which he did text. I realized he's never stated it publicly, so I was like, Billy, can you tweet this? He's like, I'll tweet it later to the kid, man. I'm like, all right, so I guess people have to accept my word for it that you've said this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I always, I think I first found you through your boy Zach, actually. It was like I had backed the book that, like, he was great at pitching. I really got to get better at pitching through him, but he would pitch this Immortal Man dealing with cancel culture thing. That book, what was it called again? Hold on. You did the art for it. What was it? Is This You?
Yeah.
That was how I first discovered you, and I got that package of books. And yeah. So that looked really cool. And ever since then, I've been interested. But I had never, it was him saying that, where he's like, Narwhal's an actual genius. I was like, I've never read any of this guy's writing. And then obviously being on Creative Block, whenever I'd get invited on, I was like, I should probably check out some of this guy's books. I think you have the most books out of everyone on that group, right?
I think so. Yeah, I kind of lose track. If you include Narzak, then it's even more.
Mm-hmm.
And if you include the Narzak funding, then I think I'm beating a lot of the Kings, for example, with like overall funding.
Wow.
Which is kind of funny, but
that's really cool, man.
Yeah. So what the first one you read was Hotel Story, right?
Of your writing, yes, which I liked in that style. I know is very similar to yours. So yeah, I mean, it's weird because you're obviously a writer and artist, which is all a super helpful combination. And I'm excited. Dude, Mark Millar, really, were you surprised? Like, what was your first interaction with Mark Millar?
Yeah, it was from your boy Zach again. He reviewed Foreign Agent, and again, really liked that one. And he gave it kind of a glowing review, basically the way he does, said some interesting, nice things. I think one thing he said, he goes, this story feels like it actually happened. The story does not feel written. I was like, oh man, that's a good compliment. But because of that review, the next day, Mark Millar followed me on Twitter. And I was like, I want to DM him, but I don't know what to say. And I waited a few days, I think, and I did DM him, and I said, like, did you follow me because of the Foreign Agent review from your boy Zach? And he's like, absolutely. I've been following his channel for a while, and I'm a big fan of yours too. Been following your work. Keep at it, kid. Something like that.
Wow. Okay, so now All right, get me on your channel then. I gotta get that Mark Millar. But the thing is, I have nothing to show anyone yet. That's the frustrating part, I think, is not having published work. Is I have to try to convince people I'm a genius with no evidence.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, it is. I realize it's like, I wonder, because I'll get, and you maybe can relate to this, but you can kind of get motivated a little bit by a chip on your shoulder of like, nobody knows but me what I'm capable of, and I'm going to show
Yes.
them. And
Something to prove, yeah.
there's a point though, because I'm like, it kind of happens naturally. If you look back, you're like, well, it kind of makes sense. It didn't happen for 12 years. Like in my case, like from the time I was 18 to the time I was 30, I was like, nobody understands me. I'm pissed or whatever. And then when I was 30, I started finally getting work. But it was 12 years of like being kind of a little bit of that chip on the shoulder kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I don't know. And then yeah, just sometimes it's like slower, but you have a good head start though, because you're kind of young or whatever. You're 23 or something. So.
24. You met me on my birthday, actually.
Oh, cool.
I was my 24th. That's when I met all you guys in person at Tampa. It was, and that was a lot of fun. Grease Lightning. You know what's funny is I loosely considered naming my character briefly Grease Lightning, but I was like, no. I was like, no. I had a list of so many names for my main character, and then I had to do that shit again for my the name of my comic when Living Legends found out there were gonna be some issues with that. But Earthbound. Speaking of which, Earthbound. You know, it's funny. I don't know anything about it, but I do have a question. I remember I asked you right away because Earthbound. Are you inspired by that game at all, or is it just no?
No, it's kind of different. What I'll say too is like it's a kind of different word. Like I think Earthbound the game. I think it's like whoever is coming to Earth and he's going to destroy Earth and they got to get ready. So, but it's just a translated. You know, that's the Americanization. Originally, the game is called Mother.
Mother, yeah.
I don't know why they call it Earthbound, but in my case, and it's got some of that art to show it, is like he's bound to the Earth, so he's like Earthbound. Is like the idea.
So, well, all right. So, what is the book about? Because what is the book about? I haven't actually.
Yeah. So this one is like the sequel to the original story, and the original story kind of functions as a prequel. So I feel like you could kind of read them in either order. It's either like, you know, a story and then the prequel, or just 1, 2. But the first one is about the recruitment process for the Grand Prix, which is this kind of like legendary intergalactic tournament. And at the time, I didn't know. I just knew it was cool, and I knew I might have to figure it out later, but I didn't figure that much of it out while I was writing Earthbound. It's just out there. It says like it happens in 4 years, and that's why they're like on Earth, because they are recruiting, almost like bounty hunting, but like kind of like kidnapping, shanghaiing like these powerful warriors and then forcing them to fight or whatever is kind of the idea. So it was doing that, and then that's kind of been some of my process for Earthbound, at least, is like you find, and it was, oh shoot, what's it again? I always forget the word. It came up the other night, but it's like a business term where if I don't know, if I think I'll tell you later, but it's like the Grand Prix had like all this like aura around it. Like that was what everyone focused in on and was curious about. So it's like, okay, the sequel has to be about the Grand Prix. So that's kind of what this is. And then within this, there's like things like that too. Like the world continues to expand outward, where these natural kind of ideas have like a lot of intrigue. And so I'm just continue to explore those.
Gotcha. That's dope, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this story a lot. I think it's going to be great. I think, hold on a second. Yeah, I think one of the things that I'm really interested in, I always thought your art style was so unique. But, you know, I think even Graham Nolan said it, that he just assumed you had a background in storytelling.
Or like storyboarding, right? That's
the storyboard. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. I guess everyone has a background in storytelling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and I have done some storyboarding. I've never done a crazy amount. And I feel like I could do it. My skill set probably does like translate pretty well.
Totally. But I mean, look at how much is your style is very like simple at first, But the more I've looked at it, man, like you have so much expression in all of your stuff. There's so much clarity, despite all the crazy shit going on in panel. You know, if you over rendered that, I feel like you'd. A lot of art, I feel, is the more I look at it, over rendered today. And because of that, you lose some of the storytelling. Actually, my appreciation for your style has grown because I really, your characters are expressive. They're distinct from one another. Even here, I've never read Earthbound, but every single person here looks different. It's clear. The colors make it clear.
Yeah, I've learned some of that as I've gone. I remember the making the mistake of drawing two characters that look too similar, and then the disappointment at finding that a reader like missed something important because of that. So I was like, never again. And that's why it is good to go like, for me at least, I can go kind of cartoony if I have to, or the simple helps separate it. And then with this one too, Grand Prix Part 2, it's fun because the style suits it well because it is a lot of crowd shots, and that's not, and even crowd fighting, and that isn't too intimidating, and it kind of suits the style well. It's kind of fun to see minimalist, but still the whole page and drawing ends up being kind of a crazy detail, even though it's kind of minimalist drawing still.
So, okay, yeah, I see that. Earthbound. So the main character, he is Earthbound in the sense that he's, so this tournament is basically, sorry, I'm trying to understand. So what is the tournament exactly? Like what kind of tournament is it?
It's a fighting tournament, and it's like very, even like my first question to myself was like, all right, it's got to be very like high tier, whatever, very prestigious. And I'm like, does that mean that it has a huge audience, or does that mean I kind of went the other way? It has like zero audience, where like it's so secret, only the elites do it or know about it, and it's just honor among them, and like kind of like bragging rights or whatever, and favors and stuff. So it takes place in this pretty super secret spot. And yeah, the WizKid, originally he's shipwrecked on Earth is kind of the idea, and then the first book is kind of him, you know, some action finally happens on Earth, some people come to Earth, and him using that that like occurrence as an excuse to make an attempt at escaping Earth. That's kind of like the first book. And the second book, Earthbound, there's still other kind of ways where it comes up, but Earth actually isn't in this story at all. Like it's like it might be referenced here or there, but
so where's the tournament then?
It's at it's in this place called Temple 1, and that's to get, this is from Earthbound Grand Prix 1, which is the previous issue you can buy with this campaign too. They're all double issues. And so this isn't exactly spoilers, but it is like set up. It's that to get to the Grand Prix, you go through this like giant portal, and there's no way out. So once you go in, you can never come out. And there is one way you can come out, and it's with these special rings they have. You can reincarnate, and that will like teleport you back through the portal. And there's technology to use that, but it's super rare, super expensive, super powerful. So a lot of people just get sent through, and they have to kind of become slaves on the other end or whatever. And so that's kind of how secretive it is, though, is that it's like literally a one-way portal. So nobody really knows what's on the other end.
Gotcha. That's dope. So you got all this right here. And so I have a question then, because that kind of reminds me, did you ever watch Bloodsport, or were you ever into Mortal Kombat?
I've seen both. I liked both a lot when I was a kid. And yeah, Bloodsport, that is the secret tournament. And I did take that idea. And another one that I kind of took from fighting movies kind of is, because so one of the concepts too, it's like what could Earthbound be pitched as the story mode for a fighting game, but have it be like the greatest story mode ever. Dude, and one thing that was fun about that, is like it lets you it gives you a lot of freedom with the characters, and it makes you want to make every character awesome rather than just like one character awesome. And that kind of helps with the world building and stuff. And yeah, but it was Enter the Dragon, which is a Bruce Lee movie. And in that movie, he goes into a tournament undercover. So there's like, there's the tournament and like who's going to win, et cetera, et cetera. But there's something going on beneath that he's trying to figure out.
That's awesome. I do wonder if Mortal Kombat was inspired by that. I still need to watch those. Ellie has 2 super chats. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt Narwhal. Narwhal, who was your favorite Final Fantasy VII character? I don't know if Narwhal's into that.
I played it back in the day. I
Oh,
would
you
probably
did?
say, yeah, it was my era. Like I was like 11 when it came out, or 12 or something.
You're gonna like my 49-page video essay that I wrote. That I've been putting off recording because I thought I was gonna launch soon. I still am, so I'm probably gonna release it after. But
Okay, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah,
I was like, oh,
that's
it'll be a
cool.
quick video, and then 49 pages, and I'm still coming up with stuff to say, and I'm like, nope, I have to stop. And then if it feels natural when I'm recording, I'll edit. Anyway,
Yeah,
who's your
that's
favorite?
those kind of videos are cool though. That's cool. You're getting into that too, because
Mhm.
you never know when those will blow up.
Yeah, I don't. I'm probably gonna finish playing the new one first before I play it, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I think Vincent, which is like maybe he's
Yeah.
like Wolverine.
Oh, he's so cool.
To the point where
Wolverine.
he's almost-
Oh yeah. And it's funny because he's an optional character too, but like he's one of my favorites. Because he's so cool, and then he's under you. My biggest problem with Vincent is that he's not in the game enough.
Yeah.
But he was in my final party. That's a great pick. I love Vincent. Yeah, I remember I was like, oh, I'm writing my video essay, and someone was like, you better mention Vincent. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Vincent.
See, he's got that shit around him. Everyone thinks about it, talks about it.
Apparently, he's not playable in the new game, which is very upsetting. I
Yeah.
haven't gotten to him yet, but hopefully he'll be playable in the last one. And then L.E. The Broken until Groken 3. He always changes his name. The L.E. The Broken until Groken 3. With ideology so pervasive in today's geopolitical discourse, which 3 characters from FF7 would you choose in your party? Okay. It depends on for me, it depends on the occasion. But if you were to twist my arm, it would be Cloud, Tifa, and Vincent. That's who I beat the game with. That's my top.
Oh yeah. I'd go weird. I'll just do the opposite, and I'd get Kate Sith, Yuffie,
You fucking
and
hipster.
and I don't know who's like a third that everyone kind of hates, but I would pick.
Well, the only one that everyone hates, I feel like, is Kate Sith.
And I think Yuffie too, maybe not.
I like her, but I could understand. I mean, she does steal shit from you, and it's annoying.
Yeah. I guess I don't know all the characters. I'm like, but I might just pick Barrett too.
Barrett. All right,
Those 3.
Actually, that's a good one. Yeah, no, it's the 9 characters. I know them by. So it's Cloud, Tifa, Barrett, Aerith, Red 13, Vincent, Yuffie, Sid, Kate Sith.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Sid. Sid's kind of fun too.
Sid's really his that ship is great. The submarine sucks though.
Yeah.
The submarine was stupid. Anyway, that game's so good. People, and another thing, people are always like, it's nostalgia. Like you gotta accept the changes all the time. I'm like, no, it's good. I mean, okay, actually, some of the snowboarding mini game was fucking horrible, but like, and there's no music during that part of the game. But anyway, it's still good.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know why. The whole game has awesome music, and you get to the snowboarding part, and like they couldn't come up with anything. It's really weird. I like this. I remember I was debating because I actually like these covers.
Yeah.
I like both. They're both storytelling. But I always feel, generally speaking, if I can't decide, I go with the A cover because I'm like, this was your first choice as the writer. And since you drew both, I'm going to go with this.
Yeah, because I think for this, it has like a gimmick with the covers is that they're all going to be the big Grand Prix as like prison bars with the characters. So each issue 1 is like, it's 2 different characters than this, and then this is 2 different, and then issue 3 will be the same.
Thing. I see. Yeah, I liked that because it was like I could tell you had a vision in your head, and I liked the universal approach to it. Although these look good, like this one looks dope with where he has the gun on the front. That looks like an action movie poster. That's an awesome cover, right here.
Yeah, that's from Matt Cosson. He's great.
So I considered getting that, but I was like, no. But I was like, I liked the uniform Grand Prix. That's why I ended up backing the A. But these ones are also really cool. I like these 2 covers as well. It's not even just about. There's a lot of really highly rendered covers that don't say anything about the story, or a lot of covers are just group shots or pinups. And while those can be like fun to look at, generally, I think the majority should be storytelling covers. Oh, and by the way, LE, I will be going after I'm done with Narwhal. Stick around my channel, guys, because I'm going to start playing Final Fantasy VII right after this. Anyway, make sure you back this. We are now at an odd number. So if we could fix that, go ahead and
Nice.
fix that. I love it. I was trying to get this for the thumbnail, your profile picture. But I couldn't copy it. I was actually about to text you, and then I started stalking you on Twitter. And I was like, let me see if he posted anything of himself. And I totally forgot about the porno picture. And I started laughing my ass. Like I was like in my room by myself, literally just fucking dying laughing, looking at this porthole picture. And I was like, this is perfect for the thumbnail. I was like, considering doing like the Looney Tunes thing. Like I was why did you make that in your house?
I don't know, because I kind of own this house, obviously not fully paid off, and that's stressful. But so I live in this house now, and that was one thing. My parents are kind of helping me here and there with some renovations, and my dad's a better carpenter than me by a long shot. But I told him, he's like, well, whatever, like anything, and it came up, and I was like, if there's one thing I want in this house, it's a porthole right here in this wall. And so we figured that out.
What inspired that though?
I don't know. There were a few things. I was like, I want a big, awesome deck that's flat with no rail. And I want a porthole. And just you have kind of a list sometimes like that can accumulate. I don't have that many things, but like I kind of like my house to be like I guess it's like a little hipster, like I like it to be original stuff that people wouldn't normally think of, but then they're like, oh, that's cool. We're kind of like my stories are like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say kind of like your art style, your choice of Final Fantasy VII party. You fucking hipster.
Yeah. No, I am. I got the hipster gene. It's like the
gene. Was your dad? Is your dad a hipster? Are your parents both hipsters?
What do they call it? They call it like you're a contrarian. I have that. But the funny thing about being a contrarian is you can be so contrarian that you're contrarian against contrarians, and then you're just normal. And that's me too. That's me more than
dude. I have one friend like that who has to. Oh, you know what it is? It's kind of like those people that love those indie bands until they finally get successful. I'm like, oh, I liked them before they were cool. Now I go fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'll be like, oh, I'm afraid that I'll get fans that are like, oh, I like Vaughn Coleman when he had no backers, but now that he has backers, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I liked him when he was a guy in the chat that would show up, but now that he's a creator, what an asshole.
Yeah. There are people that I don't know that prefer to support solely smaller channels, and it's sad to say goodbye to them if there was what that happened in early CG. There was a guy, he sent me a little message and he's like, want to let you know I wish you the best. We'd been DMing a lot and he kind of helped me and stuff. He's like, I wish you the best, but you're too big for me now. I need to help someone else. I was like, no.
Wait, but what about just supporting the stories? Like, because you know what I mean? Like, I'll back things that look good. Now the problem is that most books, at least from their covers, tend to look good. Obviously, if people have an established resume, like, look, I have, stuff by Grant, or like I had read Green Lantern Rebirth. Well, actually, no, Flash Rebirth I grew up with. So, like, some of these creators I knew. So obviously, or if they have a track record, you're more likely to back. You obviously have a resume. You've now had multiple people call you a genius of note, which you just, by the way, that is great praise. My problem is that I feel like I almost put the quotes too early because I've had like Rini was like a test reader.
Yeah.
Like my biggest fear almost is that so many people are on my sign up list. What if all of them back and they're like, I mean, it was okay. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen because I've had many people read the script saying they liked it.
Yeah, you're doing your due diligence. It'll definitely go well for you. And it's the thing, you got to build on it anyway. It's funny. I sometimes do wonder or get paranoid that if I get like a compliment, like someone called me a genius, I get paranoid that it like works against me. Cause like it's on some level, it's obnoxious a little bit, but I've chosen to embrace it. So,
yeah. when I'm disappointed by Vaughn's story, I'll yell at everyone that said it was good. That's how you should handle online discourse. If people are like,
Yeah.
I like this comic, you'd be like, you're stupid.
They'll be like, "What's your favorite part?" Yeah.
Saw the Hail the Lord tweet about Earthbound. Yeah, I haven't read that yet. Because I should have read that before prepping for your interview. But you know what? I knew we were gonna have plenty to talk about. Jeez, it's been 45 minutes. This might be the most viewers I've had during a Vaughn Coleman Presents, actually. Come to think. I don't wow.
What are we at? Who's watching? How many?
We had 17 at one point, dude.
Nice. Nice. Thanks for being here, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Hail the Lore is a regular super chatter on Nerdrotic. Would Narnar go on FNT?
Yeah. The only thing is I get a little bit what do you call it? Like self-sabotage, imposter syndrome with the super big channels.
Yeah, you got to kill that shit. You got to be obnoxious. That's one of the things I learned. Is because I see so many artists that are just like killing themselves. They're like, I'm not good enough. I'm like, I haven't done anything, and people have accepted my bitch ass. Like, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, I've literally done nothing. I just kind of like walked into a bar and then got invited on stream. That's actually how it started.
Yeah. And real quick about the Hail the Lore review, I appreciate that a lot. And you know what was kind of cool about it? It's someone reading Earthbound for the first time. Earthbound was my first book, so it's been a long time since it's been reviewed, you know. But his review, it did align very closely with the general feedback from like it was like 6 years ago or whatever when it was getting reviewed. And it's like, yeah, people say they really like the dialogue. They say the art style grew on them. They didn't like it at first, but they did like it by the end of the book. Yeah, and a few other things. I'm like, man, yeah, like a lot of similar experiences, which I kind of think is cool.
That is very cool. That's very cool. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that Earthbound was your first one, so it wasn't like, so you've been bouncing, like, because it sounds like you had Earthbound Part 1. Was it released as Part 1, or was it called Part 1 later on?
Yeah, some of that kind of got messed up. Originally, it even had like a subtitle, so it was called Earthbound Between Two Breaths on Earth. And then I've kind of just dropped I've dropped that and I just call it Earthbound 1 now. And then it's kind of by trade, so the second trade is Earthbound 2, but those 1 and 2 create the first story.
So you did 2, and then you took a break from Earthbound, and then came back with Grand Prix, is my understanding?
Yeah. And even from Earthbound to Grand Prix, there's actually like I think it's between a 3 and 4 year gap. I think it's like about a 3-year gap. And it does kind of that storytelling thing where it just jumps ahead and then all your characters are in different spots and you meet them and then you kind of see what they're up to, you know? That's like a trope kind of thing. So it does that. But I actually did write a whole other graphic novel of what happens in those 3 years. So it'll be like an in-between story. And I'm deliberately releasing it after Grand Prix. So I'm releasing it all over the place, the timeline. And eventually people read it in straight order if they want. But yeah.
So the order is Grand Prix is first? Or
yeah, the original, it's like Earthbound 1 and 2, which is the original story. That's the recruitment for the Grand Prix. Then there's the unreleased, but it will be released at some point in between story. Then that's actually called the Earthbound Gaps, which to be like in between. Then there's Grand Prix, which is getting released now. Then there will be some more stories after Grand Prix 2, and they're all like 300 pages. So by the end, it will be like 1,200 pages. The full saga.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, but what's fun is a lot of that's like written. You know, one thing that's been kind of fun is, I don't know. Yeah, it's like it's a little bit as I've been writing more and more. I've been more comfortable with longer stories, and I've been wondering. I was like, what's the longest I could even go? And it was even thinking of it as like a movie screenplay, because like you might be able to relate to this, but sometimes it's like, especially when you're kind of getting going and picking it up and stuff as a skill, it can be hard to write like a 90-page screenplay, because you'd be like, you got to have everything happen, thinking of things to fit in there and not be boring, not be redundant or whatever. But so a lot of my scripts early on were like barely hitting 90. But
I'm the other way. I write too much, way too much, and then I have to whittle it down.
Oh, okay. Well, so yeah, maybe you don't fully relate to what I'm talking about, but I did write the personal script. That'll be one of my future comics, kind of after Earthbound. That one is written as a screenplay, and it's 200 pages, which would be like Braveheart. It'd be like 3.5 hour long movie if it was
Wow.
made into a movie. So I'm looking forward to that one for sure.
That's going to be cool. So how long does it take you to draw a page typically, like with your style?
Yeah, I can do a page a day a lot of times, but I have to do a bunch of other crap. So it's not like I can do 300 a year. I kind of average, if I'm lucky, I'll get like 200 a year, but that is like, I don't know
Wow.
if I even hit those numbers really, but
Yeah, that's no, that's what I'm realizing is like I know maybe I just suck at time management or it's whatever, but between promoting myself constantly and getting wrangling artists and getting a production team together and making plans, I find that I don't write that much especially because now I have this fear where it's like I know how much work goes into writing. And it's like trying to find it. But no, I mean, when it comes to the long stories thing, I mean, listen, I still haven't even finished Claremont's X-Men run, but that's 17 years of nonstop. So I kind of come from that, went into comics with that long game mentality. Now, of course, I didn't realize how many hats I'd be wearing when I went in. But, I mean, I think seeing a long saga is going to be really cool. Like I like when I find a creator that has been doing it for a while and I just go, oh, there's so much I can catch up on. It is intimidating, but once I make the jump, I find I generally like it. And
yeah,
I'm excited.
yeah, because I worry about like if I'm like doing another Earthbound story, but people like might have missed the first one, and will it not sell for that reason? And it usually works the other way. It's like people will rediscover it and be excited about it. I hope that's me hoping too, but yeah.
Yeah, man, it's really cool. I'm excited to discover it for the first time. That's one of the other things too, is I keep going, oh my God, people need to discover. And it's like one of the things I'm realizing is, dude, everything is going to be someone's first time discovering. I'm going to be having people for the first time discovering look at all this shit in my shelf. A lot of these people were way older. A lot of my favorite movies way older. People every day are going to be discovering it, unless of course I don't do that much value, which I'm going to try not to. People every day you're going to be getting new fans, and also every day you're going to be getting better. So I think at a certain point I had a moment where I was like, I can't keep putting off doing this. I got to just do it. Like it's not going to be my best work. It's not going to be my most popular work. It might not even be that it's not even going to be the most popular it's going to be on launch day. Who knows? I might make more after launch day. I know that's typically not statistically how it works, but I don't know how things go. I just have to release it and carry it, and I think that's one of the things you got to learn. I mean, how big was your following before the first Earthbound?
It was pretty small. I got blown up because of your boy Zach and Ethan. Getting on Ethan's channel, and then your boy Zach giving a good review.
Awesome.
Really helped. And that era too was a little bit like the golden age, gold rush era. It was kind of there wasn't that much competition. Well, there's always or just even whatever like books to choose from, and a lot of people wanting to try new things and stuff. But I think we're kind of getting a little bit back there. I'm kind of optimistic about how things are going. So.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so did you say you're going to delay your launch? Is that your plan now?
Delay it. Well, because Rini might not be. She's so busy. I don't know if I don't want to make an official announcement, but it is in the realm of possibility that she might not be able to make the launch date with the cover, which is fine. I'd rather wait. I'm going to talk with her about it soon. If that's the case, which would give my artist more time. I currently have 30. I got sketches for the 38, 39 thumbnails, 38 and 39 pages. I think we're 26 pages colored. So we are going to be we're already more than halfway through pencils and inks, with more stuff on the way.
I guess if you just take the time to get even further into the book, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, my whole plan, the reason I decided to launch when I did was more for time's sake, because I know that the entire time can be crowdfunding when I'm not on a channel promoting it or creating my own content, which I do and I keep putting off. I will be working on the book, right? So they're always, even if you're not seeing me, I'm working on the book, right? Like today I just printed out a bunch of new postcards that I'm going to be putting in local libraries and whatever. And so, you know, it doesn't always work, but it's also trial and error. Like I used to just have my cover with a QR code. And then I realized when I was handing it to people, they'd be like, so where do I find it? And I was like, okay, how many people have looked at it, been interested and not known what to do with it? Probably like 100. So now I made a new version that has rebeloasisstudios.com and then letters scan here. So that way
Oh yeah,
more obvious
yeah.
what the, because a lot of people just said, this looks cool. I'm gonna check. I can't wait for it to come out. And I'm like, wait, they have no idea how to even.
Yeah,
No, it's a
that's
mailing
funny.
list. You fool. You know, like you don't realize that. And it's a learning process. It means you have to mess up a million times to be good. Yeah, it's 141 guys. This is so. Listen, there is a Vaughn Coleman.
Wait, did you just update it and it didn't go up?
No, it didn't go up.
But you did update it.
Yes.
Damn, you just killed an angel, Vaughn. That's the
What do you
rule.
mean,
You
is
can
that-
never update it if it's not going to go up.
I've been doing that this whole time.
Oh god, we've killed so many angels this
I didn't know
stream.
that. I'm making all the mistakes, man. I didn't know that. All right. So notice so you don't refresh. But how do you know if you don't refresh?
In this case, I would have to tell you almost, I guess, because I get the email notification, so I know if someone backs. But
Let's see. I'm gonna get number 1 for bragging rights, and then I'm gonna refund when Vaughn says something gay on launch. So you're gonna refund. It's bound to happen. Alex thinks everything. Alex, I remember one time was like, I was like pitching. I was in a group chat with Alex, and I was pitching a name, and he goes, "All right, Vaughn, give me your name suggestions." And while I'm typing, he goes, "Those are all gay." Oh wait, sorry, hit send too early. Really good. I'm impressed. Alex always has a new name for my comic, and it's never the name of my comic. It's never been.
Nice.
It's like Yellow Sparky. So I actually let him come up with some names in my script because there's one part where the best friend of my main character comes up with like joke names, and I'm like, all right, Alex, you get to do this. And he's like, what if he says 2 here? I'm like, all right. And then
yeah.
So Alex does have a line in the book.
Nice.
That's him.
Yeah, Alex writes taglines for me, and I'll usually a few of them, at least one I've printed because he wrote the Cerberus one that's like loyalty after death. He was just posting that while he posted the link. I was like, that's a great tagline.
Oh gosh, that's cool. Like for your stories.
Yeah, for Cerberus when he was doing the links.
Yeah, let me ask you a question because you have a bunch of books. What are your favorite books that you've done? Because I have now read Hotel Story and I want to get into the rest of your work.
Yeah, the beginning trilogy, like of early Narwhal, that's all good and I'm very proud of, is Earthbound 1 and 2, which is like one story. Then Foreign Agent, which is in one volume, but that's a long one too. It's 180 pages.
Wow.
And then Nosferatu. So those 3, I recommend you check out if you haven't.
Nosferatu was early because I remember I think being around when that was funding, right?
That was like my 3rd book. So you might have seen my second half. You just missed my first half, whatever. Or you've seen 2/3 of my career or something.
Okay. Military, yeah, that's interesting. So Nosferatu, that because it's public domain.
Yeah.
I've never.
Yeah. That one is like, I didn't like really write it. I just adapted it. But it was a very creative, fun book to work on. And it turned out pretty good. Like it's a lot of fun. I think it's like a good book.
I need to check out your eBay. Is this all on your eBay store?
Yeah, most of it. Some of it like sold out. Even I think Foreign Agent might have sold out.
Oh shit!
Get that right now.
Dude, there's so many comics now to read. I'm looking at you can't even see it, but I have a pile right by my foot here. Oh, this is partially because my room's a fucking mess. Up here, there's some books. There's a second pile of books. Another pile right here. Some right here. There's some right here. Some here. Like I have books now. A lot of these I have read, but some I haven't. Dude, it's a mess.
Yeah.
In my room. But yeah, I'm enjoying it though. This book looks fantastic, man. I'm excited. To finally really get into your lore, and what's great about it too is it now that every time someone gets into you, if they like one stuff, they can get more. Cave Slave. Did you just write that, or did someone else do the cover for that?
Yeah, Vaughn wrote it, and then Donald did the art. But then I like helped both of them. Like it was all three of us doing everything, kind of. But they're like it's the three of us basically.
But you published it?
Yeah, and I was kind of went in just as a publisher, and that was fun though. That's like a 20-page just one shot that turned out good. It's pretty fun.
All right, man. How I gotta ask you like how you go about just getting all this out at such a fast pace, because I'm slow as hell. Trying to move fast, but it's tough. I guess I have to just do it.
It helps a little bit because I do everything speeds it up, but then I think some of that's an illusion too because I just have been around a little longer than you and I just try and do. But I'm like faster than my style is a little more minimalist, so I'm like faster than Rini or something. So I try to do. Like, the other thing is, and Rini started doing this, but if I can afford it, because I can't always afford it, but if business is good, then I can afford it, is I try to get one book that I'm drawing and then one book that someone else is drawing that I wrote. So I'll have 2 books in production at all times. And then that doubles the output. I was able to do that for a couple of years where things were going really well. But like after Cerberus and Hotel Story, those are kind of like that. Those are collaborations. Then I'll see if I can line up another after that. But
I mean, I'm always going to be able to do that. That's my plan. But first, that means I have to have one successful book, and then I have others down the pipeline. I'd love to ideally have Phenom and Nova always be going, like always in production. That's what I'd ideally have, and then whatever else I have working on, I can be working on. That's my goal, because it's going to be an ongoing story by nature. So there's always an artist working on. If I even get fill-in artists, that's my plan. But we obviously it's like sell issue 1 first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this book looks great. I'm excited for it, and everyone, make sure I'm not going to refresh. I learned my lesson this time. But make sure you back it, dude. This book looks fantastic. Narwhal, one of the best guys I know. He's killing it. What does Plaster Harris mean, by the way?
That was like, I forget when I made my Twitter account. I might have been in like middle school, but I never used Twitter.
Middle school?
Maybe it was high school. But for some reason, I thought it'd be funny if I made a fake name.
2009. Holy shit.
Yeah, that sounded really dumb. No, that wouldn't have been middle school. That would have been after high school, actually, when I made it. But it's like a fake, what do you call it? It's a fake company CEO, like a stupid name, like Elon Musk. Plaster Harris was the idea.
All right.
First name Plaster.
Because I've had trouble finding your account. And I'm like, what? What's Plaster Harris? All right, got it.
Yeah, that's kind of my bad. It's just an old, stupid thing.
Yeah, you know what? It is your bad.
Yeah.
You know what? All right. Thank you so much for coming on. Everyone check out this man's work. Where can everyone find you outside of Plaster Harris and on Fun My Comic currently?
Yeah, just YouTube, Narwhal Books, and then Twitter, also like Narwhal Books. It'll come up, I think, but Plaster Harris. Those are my 2 main ways to find me.
All right, cool. Thank you so much. Tune in tomorrow night, guys. I'm having not 1, but 2 guests. I grew up on the Goosebumps books. Did you ever grow up on the Goosebumps books?
Yeah.
The cover artist for all those books, Tim Jacobus, is coming on my show tomorrow night at 6 p.m. So make sure to tune into that, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited.
Nice.
Monster Blood was my favorite, personally. I never read the rest of them. I should have. I started 2, and I never finished them. 2 was hard to find. It was weird. Bring Sushi back for another interview. Yes, the audience really liked her. They were calling her Rini's replacement because Sukeisha Ray. Yeah, she's got a new song coming out in a few days, actually. So when I bring her on, I'm gonna she's doing a cover for me. Check that out. Sign up for Phenomenova for that. But yeah, I'll bring her back for an interview. She already said she'd love to come back on again. But most importantly, check out Narwhal's stuff. And then I also have Chris Faction is going to be on tomorrow at 9. So at 6, we got Tim Jacobus. Then 9, we got Chris Faction. And right after this interview, I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy VII. So stick around, guys. And Make sure to keep up with Narwhal, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm going to close out the stream by playing the Phenomenova trailer.
Mhm.
When the whole world was dragged into World War III, brave men like my father fought on the front lines. And they weren't alone. That was 20 years ago. Now it's up to us to carry on their legacy. And every so often, the earth from which we come gives way for something new, something greater to be born. And with them, even greater threats to face. Bring it on! Phenomenal. For you, Dad. For you.